Deftones, Beware, Standard Tuning Method, Guitar Tabs, and Guitar Lesson. I'll play all the different sections right at the beginning. Afterwards, I'll go back through, give the full explanation for it. Do me a favor, hit that subscription button. It's the best way of letting me know that you like this video and want to see more Deftones stuff. And now, let's get on into it. Alright, so once again, this is a alternate standard tuning method. Alright, they go pretty low for this one, down to a C. But for our purposes here, if you just want to keep it in a standard, play some basic chords, aren't too offended by playing some higher voicings of certain riffs or chords, then we got you all set here. And basically, we'll just start it off with this keyboard section. And we can make it work for guitar pretty well. It's just part of a C minor at the very start. So you can just kind of strum like that C minor, like the 3A, with the 5D and G, 4 on the B. All right, and once you hit that 4 on the B, you can just come right back up and alternate between the 4B and the 5 on the G. Just alternate that, a handful of times. And kind of, every start of the measure or so, maybe just strum through that C minor again. All right, works pretty well there. For the verse section here, we get, the bass shifting and guitar just kind of picking through some interesting sounding voicings of these chords here. So we'll start, and it's just kind of doing, fun parts of like an E flat chord here. And we kind of want these notes to ring out a bit, so a good spot to do this, of course E flat's always a little bit rough, but we'll start here at 6 on the A, and then we'll have an 8 on the D, and then we're going to want to use this open G under it. All right, and basically you just want to strum that power chord, the 6A, 8D. Okay, after we strum that, we're going to want to hit the open G, then the 8D, open G, 8D. All right, and then from that last 8D, we just make it a 7. Okay, kind of makes it this fun, sharp 11 vibe going there. And from there, we just drop down to that C minor shape again. All right, and we just kind of strum that. All right, and that, once again, that 4 on the B is kind of our starting note, because we're going to come right back, hit the 5 on the G, back to the 4B, and then we just come off of the 4 to make it a 3B. So we got like this C sus2 now. All right, we just go between those two chord patterns. All right, for the end of the verse, or pre-chorus if you want to call it, we have again just kind of two shifting bass notes, and then we have like these two kind of funky chromatic melody notes over the top of it. Sounds really cool. Find it here in the E flat again. So we'll have our 6 on the A, and then you can throw in this 5 on the D under it just to get more of that E flat chord in there. And we're just toggling really between like a 7th and a 6th of the E flat chord. And we'll find that here at the 6th fret of the G, and we're just going to go back and forth that 6, 5, 6, 5 on the G, while having our 6A and 5 on the D above it. So we're just kind of... All right, so that's the first section, and then basically we need to switch to the C. All right, and that's pretty straightforward. We'll just kind of hit like a C power chord here, 3A with the 5s on the D and G, and basically we're just going to bring the pinky over and just keep that 6, 5, 6, 5 going on the G. All right, and just go back between those. Chorus gets going, everything gets real big, get the overdrive on there, all that good stuff. And, we don't have our drop low C, so now we're just going to have to hit that C power chord just right here at the 3A, 5 on the D and G. Sounds fine there, no big deal. I think mostly he's like, mixing in a lot of higher octave stuff with it anyway. So not that huge of a leap, really. And a little trick, if you want to get this chord even bigger, you can just throw in that extra low octave at the 3E. Sounds good. So you can either go, or just throw in that extra low G. Maybe it'll sound even bigger, maybe to compensate for not having that super low C. Little trick there if you want to throw that in there. So just strum it out, just power chord style. And then we just come up from the C to the E flat, all right? 6 on the A with the 8s on the D and G. You could do the same there. Throw in that 6 on the low E if you want a really big sounding chord. All right, so do, a couple of measures of each of those chords. And once we come around to them again, we kind of want the bigger like sus2 part of all of it. So, same shape, like the power chord shape, but we just want to bar the strings under it too, so that keep that 3, B, and E under it too. All right, same deal with the E flat. Bring it on up, just bar all those 6s, throw in the 8 on the D and G, same thing here. And you especially want to make sure you hit that 6 on the B there, because the vocal really comes along with that too. All right, for the bridge section, this is really kind of where some of the compensating for the lack of the low comes in. It actually sounds pretty good, I think. We're just going to start with some big F power chords here. First fret on the E with the 3 on the A and D there. And it's just kind of a 1, 2, 1. All right, then we'll hit one more. And, in the other format, we'd be kind of like switch around some power chords here. But here, we can just come up and do a little scale where we go on the D string, 3 to 1, and then 3 on the A. Right. And then from there, we just move to a B power chord at the 2A, 4 on the D and G. Strum that out 7 times. And at that last one for the 8th count, just bump it up a fret to the C power chord at the 3 and 5s. All right, just cruise through that a handful of times, and then, you know, everything kind of drops out and we get those two little toggle notes, you know, from the pre-chorus, the 6/5, 6/5, 6/5 on the G. All right, and you can just keep that going, or you can build it up a little more, like once we get towards the end, where you just throw in that extra low octave with it, you know, like the 4 to 3 on the A, along with that 6 to 5 on the G. Just make it build as it does at the end. All right, in this outro riff, probably where we're sacrificing the most to keep it in standard tuning here, because this gets real low. But, you know, just kind of a C power chord bass here. Just strum out those C power chords at the 3A, 5 on the D and G. Just 1, 2, bump it up a fret for the C sharp at the 4 and 6s, back to the 3s and 5s for the C. Kind of hold it a moment, hit it once again. Then we do a little scale, and basically we'll do 4-3 on the D, 4-3 on the A. All right, come back to a couple C power chords at the 3rd fret there. Up a fret to the C sharp for the 4 and 6s there. Back to the C at the 3 and 5s. And then finish at an A flat power chord at the 4E, 6 on the D and G. And after we do that a couple of times, a second guitar comes over the top there, and it starts doing this bit, kind of a little dissonant vibe here, where we're just doing 8 on the G and 10 on the high E, and it's just kind of strumming it out right on tempo. Maybe gets a little bit loose with it.